we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of the Last Place Fire Team show. If you guys have noticed, it's just me and Yendi today, but we will be getting Chris in about 15 minutes. He's just gonna hop in here, some real work stuff. But he will be here, and we'll just have a normal show like we always do. So, what's up, Yendi? How you doing, bro?
Good, not bad. This is weird. I think, our first time doing a duo show, yeah?
Yeah, it is the first time we're doing a duo show
Nice.
together. So, I mean, it's going to be 15 minutes, but we've got some things to talk about. We share some things in common, like video games. So, shouldn't be that hard, should it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't think so.
I feel you. So, what have you been playing, Yendi? Anything? Well, besides, have you
Uh,
been playing anything?
no, man, I haven't had a chance to play anything because work.
With good reason.
Yeah, and then I haven't even been able to mod any mice or anything because I've just been busy learning the new ropes and all that
Hmm.
stuff. But yeah, I guess it's been a pretty busy last 2 weeks. A lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. So other than that, I do really, really want to play something.
It's now that it's been taken away, you're like, man, I could really use playing something.
So the thing is that I don't have a set schedule. I start work whenever I want to, pretty much, because
Okay.
we're on different time zones. So
Oh, that's
when
true.
when I get up, it's about lunchtime for them. So
Hmm.
when I start to work, they're already either at lunch or they're already pretty much winding down their day. So it's just me myself, unless I have a meeting or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's very relaxed so far, but I know it's gonna get very very intense later. Uh, I have a lot of stuff coming to me from them
Hmm.
for. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm here, I'm here talking about it. People don't know what the hell I'm
Exactly.
talking
That's what I
about.
was waiting for
I'm
you
an
to
idiot.
say.
Yeah, I got a job as the product evangelist for Fnatic, the esports organization. I'm sure some of you have heard
Yeah.
of it. And basically, what that means is I will be the middleman between the product internal team and the community and reviewers, media outlets. So it'll be my responsibility to reach out to reviewers and places like The Verge or PC Gamer and say, hey, do you want to try one of our products and review it and give us your thoughts. And then I also have to I have to gather feedback and give my own feedback on the current products prototypes that we got happening. Which yeah, that's fine. I can say that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You,
then
you just can't go into
ma-
detail.
and then make the product better, and hopefully have a successful launch. So right now I'm just in a phase of documentation, doing a lot of documentation for upcoming stuff. And then my very first project is just to it's very easy. I just have to reach out to some influencers in regards to a keycap set that they're making for one of our partners, Twitch partners. So yeah, she's getting her own. I don't know if you heard of her. Her name is Loya. She's like a Swedish streamer who has signed with Fnatic, but she's got her own really cool looking artisan keycaps. So we're trying to get those out to people,
Nice.
hopefully by mid August. But yeah, anyways, aside
Around
from
my
work,
birthday.
yeah, you're right. Aside from that, I've been really wanting to play anything, but
Anything.
I don't have the time, man. It's
Yeah.
impossible to find the time because work is now 24/7 since I'm salaried. So,
Yes.
but thankfully they're sleeping right now. They're 5 hours ahead, so I got that going for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, bro. I'm happy for you, proud of you. All that hard work paying off. You know what I mean? And it's official. We can call him Fanatic Excaldi now.
Yeah, I got my jersey coming in soon too.
Do you really have one?
Yeah, it says it's Scaldi on the back.
Listen,
Yeah.
I need one of those, by the
You
way,
you
just
can
to
go on.
represent.
You can go on. It's
Just to represent. So yeah, bro, I'm proud of you, bro. That's awesome.
thank you.
As far as me, I've been playing Apex as normal. I got 3 wins today. If you
What?
guys didn't. Yeah, I did get 3 wins on stream in duos. Me and my boy Chase, who I always play with. If you guys, I usually stream that on my own channel. If you guys ever want to come through, Nucleus of Chaos. But it's yeah, Apex is amazing. It's gonna lead into one of our stories from later, of what happened over the weekend. But Apex is amazing. I mean, it's my go-to game. I also have restarted, and Yendi can talk about this game. I just restarted Outer Worlds, not from the beginning, but apparently I didn't know that it had Xbox Cloud Save. So when I reinstalled it, it actually showed back up, and I was so thankful because I was like, I remember exactly where I was, which isn't a testament to that game's story because I feel like, especially when I rebooted Fallout, I felt like I had no idea where I was. But with Outer Worlds, I knew exactly where I was, like exactly the crew I had and exactly the build I had. So, and I played it the other day for about 2 or 3 hours and was really lost in that game. That game is beautiful. It does Fallout better than Fallout. Like, it's in a weird way, it really does. Like, just the guns and the quirkiness and the fun things and the creatures and it's the colors. That game is like really good. So I'm excited to finally continue it and beat it. That will be game 8 if I do beat it. So of the year, and I'm pretty proud of that.
That's
Almost 15. I'm proud of myself.
8 games, man, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
The last time I finished a game was like I don't even know how long ago, and how the hell do you just sit there?
Listen,
I can't sit there for that long. I can't. Even if the
I've
story is good, that's the thing. It's like even if the story is engrossing and everything, there's just something that tells me, oh, I gotta get up. I gotta go do something else,
yeah.
or I just can't focus. I
I'll,
guess.
I'll be honest. I like with Sunset Overdrive. Well, which that was probably the one game that I actually like played. I mean, like more than 4 or 5 hours, like at a time, and I probably beat that in 2 or 3 sittings. But most of the games that I've beaten has been like an hour. Like Biomutant, I was like, I have to play it an hour a day before I go to bed, and Biomutant felt more like a job. And but
Oh,
most of these games that I've been beating are not like, like the 50 hour or 40 hour games or 20 hour. I think most of them have been 10 out, like 10 to 15. I don't think I've beaten anything that was 20 besides Hades, which took me the longest. And just to clear the first run that I did, but that game is amazing, so you should go play that also. But I don't, yeah, 8 games. I have it on my Twitter. I don't remember all of them, but I mean, Control was only Control was like 15 hours. Medium was like 8 hours. Was the first game I beat this year. So they haven't been like crazy games, and I've done it in separate sittings. So I don't know. I just
I attempted that 1 hour uh, self requirement, but
Mhm.
like it worked a little bit with Mass Effect, but then
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. I like the story. I like Mass
Hmm.
Effect, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm slowly losing my interest in like these story, like campaign games, because
Driven games
even
could
the
be.
interesting ones that normally I would spend hours and hours on, like I'm starting to lose that want to continue
So
playing.
yeah, to keep going. That
But
makes sense. I mean, it is what it is.
maybe there's just a certain type of game out there that I'm more for me
Waiting
now.
for
Let's see. Hopefully, yeah, in
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah, but then I sit here and I think, oh, it's just another shooter in the end, and I might just get FPS fatigue eventually. I mean, yeah, probably not. It's like a good stress
You're
relief.
still playing.
Yeah.
You're still playing Warzone, so I don't
Hmm.
think you ever get tired of playing anything else. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna go to our do a little housekeeping. If you guys don't know, Chris and I have a video of episode 4 talking about Loki. Anybody on the podcast who is listening, thank you for you guys' support. You guys have really been showing the numbers on that, and we really appreciate it. We're gonna have episode 5 this week on Thursday, maybe tomorrow or Thursday. It's going to be on either one of those days. And then Chris and I on Thursday are probably going to shoot the Black Widow video and then release that on Friday. So we should have 3 videos this week for you guys. the Loki one, and then Black Widow. So be on the lookout for all of those. We have some pushing out this content for you guys. Remember, if you guys like the content, hit the like button, share. It helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff so that we can be seen more and, all that good stuff that all the other YouTubers say.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, besides that, we're going to get into some stories. We have some things that we want to talk about. We're not going to get into the milk and crannies until Chris gets here because we're going to shame him a little bit about his next system purchase. So, we're going to talk
Uh-huh.
about some other things. But,
So
Andy,
wait,
have you?
but
Oh, go
first,
ahead.
first. So you saw the Black Widow? Did I
I
s-
have not. It comes out
Oh,
on Thursday. It's going to be the first Marvel movie that has come out since Far From Home from Spider-Man. So
so
it's been almost a year. It's almost legit been two no yeah, 2 full years since we've gotten a Marvel movie.
what?
Yes, this will be the longest drought we've got since I think the beginning of the phases, but this will be the longest because in July 2nd is when Far From Home came out of 2021. No, no, I'm sorry. It came out August. It might or later on in July it came out. So it'll be about 2 years since we've gotten a movie from Marvel. And then the funny thing is now that this is coming out, once Shang-Chi comes out in September, we won't go any longer than 3 months for a Marvel movie. So every 3 months we're gonna get a Marvel movie after Shang-Chi comes out.
So do you think Marvel was busy during COVID, like recording and filming?
No, I think yes, absolutely. They've been on shoot. I know during COVID they shot and finished Doctor Strange was finished, Spider-Man was finished. They've been working for sure. I mean, I think honestly once the only reason we've had these delays and most of these movies I think they just push back because obviously they want to be safe because of the money, but most of these movies were done like Black Widow was done last year because it was supposed to come out of May of 2020. So now that COVID pushed it back and the numbers, because remember this is Disney, one of Disney's major money moves. Like they make a ton of money from all these MCU movies. I don't think an MCU movie, if I could be wrong, but I don't think an MCU movie has made less than $500 million. I don't think there's one movie that's made less than 500. And if it is, it probably was like 485. I'll check that later to confirm, but I know that they've never gone under budget. Like the budget of the movie has been what it is, and it's always at least made it or doubled it for sure. The budget of the movie has
That's
been what it is,
insane.
and yes. And remember, that's 23 movies. So, and I mean, you count like obviously like Endgame, which made $2 billion, and then you had if again I could be wrong, but I believe it's eight of the 23 or six or seven of the 23 have made $1 billion. So I can, yeah, because it's Endgame, Infinity War, Civil War, Iron Man 3, um, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Spider Man. Yeah, seven. So for sure, and Avengers. So that yeah, they're on a tear, and it's a huge moneymaker for them. So that's why when people were crying, "Oh, just release it," it's like, yeah, they could release it and also lose about $600 million. So like,
Mm-hmm.
they're not even trying to do that. So I
Jeez,
get it 100%.
crazy
Even as a
man.
huge Marvel fan who's had to wait
That must
for
have been
all
like
these.
the purchase of the century right there.
Oh, I mean they bought Marvel for what, $3 billion? Three. Now it looks like, look who, like, what I mean? It at the time it was insane, but now that they've made all this money, I think I mean, between that and Star Wars, I mean, Star Wars they spent about 5 billion for, and they've already made that back between the three movies that they came out with. So, like, it's insane how much amount of money that Disney generates, and it's really one of the few things keeping theaters alive before the pandemic hit because it's like such a big moneymaker and it drives people to the movies. It's one of the biggest besides of course, Fast and Furious, which have you been seeing any of these Dom memes that have been floating around the internet, has legit taken over the internet. It's insane. And as a person who watched Fast 9, I completely understand and I know why everyone is showing these memes.
Is it like absurd or something, like super ridiculous premise or
It's like
something?
family. It's all well. Listen, the movie F9 is utterly ridiculous. There's no if, ands, or buts. I'm gonna. This is not a spoiler because this is in the trailers. But if you're like me and don't watch trailers, this is a spoiler alert. But there's a scene where he legit, and I mean legit, he drives off of a cliff, right? But he hooks a line onto the car. Like the car tire catches this line and he swings, like legit swings off of this line in a car over a cave and then lands. The car flips, tumbles, does all this stuff, and he doesn't end up with a scratch on him or Letty. Bro, when I mean I was in the movie theater in utter shock, I was like, but the funny thing about the movie is that they actually poke fun about that because like Tyrese's character actually does make jokes about them not getting scratched after all these crazy stuff. And then there's an insane scene that happens later on, which I will not spoil. But if you go watch it, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So the movie's self-aware of its
It
ridiculousness.
is. It is self-aware. It's actually pretty entertaining. I will give them this. Their action scenes are pretty phenomenal. I don't like it's amazing to me from how long this franchise has lasted for it to be able to still come up with these cool car scenes. Like they do come up with some cool car scenes. Like I can't even hate on them, honestly.
I heard that some of the action scenes or sequences were done by the kid of the director or producer.
I
That he
mean,
got some of the
probably.
ideas from his kid, and like that would make some sense
I
there.
mean, yeah, because it is fresh. It does feel like there's some crazy things going on in that movie. Like I wouldn't go out to the movies to watch it. I did it because obviously I just have my, A list and I go watch movies anytime I can. But like wait, if it when it comes home and it's free on some streaming network, it is you have to just at least watch just the action scenes. The story is terrible. Like
I
there's
think
no need to watch the story.
I'm trying to remember which one was the last Fast and Furious I saw. I want to say it was it 5 or 7?
Five is actually really good.
What was
I
5
actually
about?
really enjoy. Five is the one where Letty comes back.
Then yes, that's the last one I've seen.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
there's been
That one, yeah.
4 movies since
You've
then.
missed four movies,
What the
yes.
hell?
You've missed four insane movies. Like, because once Letty came back, that's when they really got out of hand.
Huh.
Like from there on, they really got out of hand. But I mean, they're fun to watch. They're popcorn movies, and I mean, I can't lie. I went and watched it and enjoyed it, and I am part of the problem. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
So
it's an
I can't even
experience.
say I didn't.
We haven't been to the movie theater since way before the pandemic.
Yeah.
We rarely go, like once maybe every 365 days. But
Yeah.
I've been dying to go back and just sit in a theater again and just
Oh,
smell the food, the popcorn, see all the people, see
amazing.
the dumb people clap after a movie. Like, what are you doing? Why
Yeah,
are you
they can't
clapping?
hear you. I know people who do that, and I never understood it. I get
I've
hype
done
in
it
the movie
once.
theaters.
I've done it
I
once.
will say, what movie? Do you remember?
Uh, shoot, man, I don't remember.
Okay.
Not Star Trek.
Any of
I
the Star Wars, maybe?
I think maybe Star Wars, but yeah, there were some movies that really, like, I don't know why I was clapping, but I felt the emotions of the room. That's the other
Yeah.
thing. It's like you feel the
Yeah.
emotions of the
Yes.
people around you, so you kind of want to join
Yes.
in and be a part of it. And
Mhm.
yeah, that adds to the experience, man. I just want to go buy some overpriced ass popcorn and drinks, and just
Hey,
sit there and eat popcorn and just let my mind go and just
yeah.
relax. So I'm definitely
I
overdue for one of those movie trips
You
for
should
sure.
definitely go. You should definitely go. I've been to, I think that was movie 8 for me. So since the pandemic, I mean, since I've got vaccinated and stuff, so I've been back since, and I'm going to go again. I believe this Thursday. Well, this Thursday's Black Widow, I also want to watch the new Escape Room movie that's coming out because I like the first one. So, and I'm a horror fan, so it is what it is. But yes, I agree with you 100%. Going to the movies, I cannot imagine watching any of the Avengers without being in the movie because I remember
Oh
how
yeah.
many people got hyped and feeling all that energy is like a necessity, which is why I'm so thrilled to go see Black Widow. And I know like that energy is going to be back, and because people are going back to the movie, so I'm excited for it. I am really excited to go back to the movies.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, so we also had a treat this morning. If you guys are not following the Xbox Twitter, hey, look who's
Beep, beep,
here.
beep, 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 beep.
We're going to give him some time to
Yeah.
set up. Here we go. Here he is. Hey.
Hey,
Oh, wait.
he's back, and now we can finally
Hey.
start the show. All right, guys, welcome back to
Yes.
episode 32.
33. 23.
42.
23. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys? How you
We,
doing?
we're good, man. You know, take your time, take a breath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just here. We're talking about Dom memes that have taken over the internet. So,
Wait, are we live right now?
We are live.
yes, we are
Big girl?
live. Of course, we're
shoot.
live.
Oh, okay, my bad, my bad.
So yeah, we're talking about Dom memes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying? Have you been in Deems? Have you been enjoying any of the Dom memes
I
now that you're here?
and I've been enjoying them quite a bit. My favorite one so far is Spider-Man talking to Nick Fury.
Oh,
He's like, "Where's Thor? Off world."
Yeah.
He's like, I forgot what the other one was.
yeah,
And then he gets to like, he's like, "Dom." He's like, "Family meeting."
yeah. Just like, they've been insane, and it's been really funny. So now that we've got Chris back, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. If you guys saw this morning, and if you guys are not following Xbox, you should be, because whoever's running their social media needs a gold star, a gold medal, and a raise. Because what we saw this morning was probably one of the best things I ever seen, and we don't know. We wanted to have it ready, but we can't. I don't know because DMCA's, so we're not going to take the chance. But please go watch their all access video where they shot it in a 90s style R&B video, and it is absolute perfection. It's one of the funniest things you'll see. It's one of the funniest things you'll hear. And I just want to know what your guys' thoughts were on that.
I'm putting it in the Twitch chat right now for
Yes.
those who may be watching. I was surprised. I was just scrolling through Twitter in the morning, and I had the video playing, and then I heard the audio. I'm like, that sounds just like All for One. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? Oh my god. Xbox really did this. So I stood there. I'm like, I try to read their lips to see if there was just like a dub or something, but no,
No.
they straight
They
up contracted these people to sing that version of the song, and it was amazing. I loved it. Love everything about it. Xbox, man, I'm telling you, they're really good. And I think now that I think about it, they did win best social media account on Twitter. Actually, they won up against Taco Bell.
Yeah, was it Taco Bell or Wendy's?
Wendy's,
I think it was
maybe.
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yes, because Wendy's has a really good social
Yeah,
media.
they're
Twitter
very
also.
savage.
And they're savage, and they also have a Twitch stream. So Wendy's be going in. They have a good time, but yeah, Xbox. You're right. Xbox did win that, and they deserve it because that video, I was legit crying for about 10 minutes on how great that video was. I sent it to everybody I could. Just if you're a fan of 90s R&B, you know exactly that it's All for One. You know exactly what song it is, and the fact that they put it in that like just made it work. It's a song that can get stuck in your head. It's the best marketing you could possibly do. Chris, did you watch it?
I did. I watched it on my lunch break, and I laughed really hard. And then I forgot who it was. Somebody else in the break room watched it, and they were just like, "Man, this is fantastic." So I hope I see more of those trailers, or no, those funny commercials, because I do miss those. I feel like they get a lot of traction too. So
Yeah. I hope they make a vinyl, honestly, because I'll get it. We already got an Xbox fridge, which I plan on getting, and now I want the vinyl to that song. So if I can get the vinyl, Microsoft, if you're listening, please, I will pay for it. Like, I will happily pay for the vinyl for that, even if you give me a 5-song little, thing of just Xbox related things in 90s R&B. I got it. I'm paying for it. Totally paying for it. No problem. But that was fantastic. I know the internet went crazy. It actually had Xbox trending and stuff like that. So another thing that Xbox has been trending for, which is pretty interesting, is they might have a deal with Kojima to make a exclusive Xbox game. Now, these are all theories. No one is you know, no one has confirmed contracts, but we do know that Kojima had a big fallout with Sony, and there was a whole bunch of issues with that. So now
Wait.
apparently,
Was it Sony or was it Konami that he had a fallout with?
well, Konami, yeah, I mean,
Because I thought his deal with Sony was okay. I mean, they had Death Stranding released, and that did well. And then, unless something else happened between then.
Well, no, I know you're right. You're right. I think it is just Konami, but I think like weirdly, everything that Sony like they don't own Konami, but like Konami is like has like in the past like only partnered with them. So, I mean, this is a big story because it does say like Xbox might be getting more of those like more of a presence overseas because of this, and everyone knows Kojima for all his interesting, crazy ideas. I haven't played Death Stranding, but I heard good things about it. So this story actually comes from Stan Hogweg. It came out 2 days ago, and it says major collaborations are always something to look at or in the gaming industry. When a famous developer works with a new studio, they can produce something very unique and exciting. Kojima proved he could do that for Konami with PT, but he never got to make the full Silent Hills projects and that he and Konami once planned together. Kojima has already moved to greener pastures with Death Stranding, a strange but unique game that showcases the ideas and what could come of the collaboration with him. It's clear that Microsoft has noticed, and because reports suggest Kojima has finally sealed a deal to make a new game for Xbox. Now, this happened, and of course, we all know what happened next. Sony fans got upset. They were like, how could you do this? This is not fair. The story hasn't even really hit yet. And it's like, it's not fair. How could you do this? How could you guys just release a game on Xbox? It makes no sense. So it kind of went back to what we talked about last week, where people are just crying for people were always complaining, Xbox, you guys don't have enough exclusives. Now they're getting exclusives, and now everyone's complaining. So I want you guys to know, how do you guys feel about this possible thing? They even made a change.com petition to sign it away so that it doesn't just come out on Xbox. So, Chris, let me know how you feel about the collaboration more so than the fanboys crying about this, because we don't really care about that.
While I let you know, I will give you a heads up. Your mic is popping or doing a little popping sound. I don't know if it's a cable or peaking or it's like a little popping. But my opinion, man, is coming. We keep saying it. Xbox coming with a big old paddle and said, "Bring that ass here." I mean, it's no shocker to me. Kojima is kind of petty, you know what I mean? So I feel like if it'll be one game or maybe two games, and then they'll jump back over to Sony. They'll go to the highest bidder because it's a really weird company, man. But I like as long as it's on Xbox and PC, I like what's going on with it. I think Xbox is finally saying, like, you guys all like bitched about us not having exclusives, and now we're working towards that, and now you're hating us for it. Like, screw off. So the Sony people keep getting butthurt about it, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you guys got to chill out. All right, we still have a lot of exclusives on Sony, and it shouldn't even matter about exclusives. I get it. Like, oh, it's a little like, now I have to go get an Xbox, and it's like, well, I mean, that's what we all did back in the day. It was just like, you got a 360, you got a PS3 because you like both games. But now, just build a PC. All right, build a PC or buy a pre-build right now because it's cheaper. Fun facts. But get a PC.
Or just get a Series X for $299.
Or a Series X. They're not that bad.
I mean, a Series S. I'm sorry, for $299.
Series S. Yeah. Yeah. It's not that bad. It is not that bad at all. So And the people that are complaining that it's going to go to Xbox are the people that didn't even play Death Stranding or shit on Death Stranding the whole time. So I feel like the people that they just want to complain to complain. Everybody's gonna, no matter what, nobody's gonna be happy. So props to Microsoft again for they keep killing it, man. And as the holidays come, I think they're just gonna keep smashing home runs. We're gonna get more of these crazy announcements and rumors. So I'm excited to see it.
Andy, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm all for it. I think I've only played one of Kojima's games, and that's Metal Gear 5. I think one of the
Was
more
it really
recent
was like
ones.
that first? Was the beginning like an hour of cinematics?
Yeah, right. And
Okay.
then so here's the thing. Like always heard about Kojima and how
That,
self-absorbed he is.
I
But
think
I
that
didn't
was 4,
realize
by the way.
how 4. Okay,
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how self-absorbed he was because when I was starting that game, I saw his name bro. I don't know how many times. Like he credited himself so many damn times for the whole game, and I'm like, okay, motherfucker, we get it. You made this game. Stop telling us over and over, please, and get on with the goddamn point of this game. It was
That's
a
the guy
weird,
I don't want to meet. Like I feel like it'd be awkward.
I feel like I heard that he was cool from people in the industry, but
Okay.
there's no denying that he's got a very innovative mind, right? Everything
Yeah.
that he puts out
It's unique.
is unique, and people love it because he's weird and he can translate that well into his game. So I'm excited to see what it is that he's doing with Xbox. If he can get something unique as Death Stranding to be an Xbox exclusive and it be good, then or have people talk about it, even just being controversial would help Xbox. And I'm excited for that part. Am I going to play that game? Maybe, maybe not. Most likely not, because I'm not that much of a fan of the Metal Gear Solid. Like I said, the one that I did play, I enjoyed my time with it. It was actually fun, especially getting those the bad guys to go up in balloons,
Yeah.
or like trucks or whatever it was.
I like the older ones. I mean, I got the I forgot what I think Solid Snake, whatever. What's
got
the
the
second one?
collection pack?
Patriot.
And the Phantom
Yeah,
Menace,
Patriot.
yeah.
Okay,
No.
so you put or I have it on the PS or PS Vita, so I still got to play through those. But I like those older Metal Gear games, and with Death Stranding, a lot of people keep telling me to give it a chance, man. They're like,
Yeah.
it looks weird. Like I know you're walking a lot or whatever, but they were just like, just play it. It's you can't explain it until it's played, and I'm like, okay, I'm just
That-
waiting for a bigger sale on
That
it.
is such a divisive game because you have people on one side who
so mixed.
swear by it, and then
Yeah.
others
Yeah.
who are like, this is the worst piece of trash I've ever played. But I
But
guess
also, those are the people that that's what worries about me. People asked me if I liked Red Dead 2, right? And I said, oh yeah, I did like that game. And they're like, okay, you can play this. Where like I guess so you need the attention span to do it because Red Dead 2, whenever it first came out, people were complaining that it was way too slow.
Oh really?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
listen.
yeah, it was just like it takes forever to get on your horse, like it takes forever to get to the camp, and it's like, yeah, you're a cowboy, you're relaxing, like they want you to like get into the role.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Red
mean,
Dead 2 was phenomenal.
yeah, it was great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Towards the end, like I was trying to beat it because I forgot what other game was coming out at the time, but that like whenever you try to rush to beat it, that's when it feels annoying. But that's the point though. Like you should. They're telling you like do not rush this game because there's so much in it that you're missing. So yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
good,
and
good,
that's-
good for Xbox, and this just goes to show how petty the ponies are. Remember what those the PlayStation people are called? The ponies. That's what you guys, not you guys, not Chris and Alan, but you PlayStation fanboys, ponies. The fact that you made up a change.org petition to get the unexclusive is stupid. Get a
That's
grip.
insane to me.
Grow up.
So sad.
Stop complaining. You've had years and years of awesome exclusives, and we don't even know if the Xbox exclusive are going to be good anyways. Just because they're exclusives doesn't mean they're going to be good. So get over
Yeah.
it.
Watch it not be good, and they're like, ha!
And that's exactly what's
Look
going to
what
happen.
happened.
Yep.
I told you it wasn't going to be good just because it's on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Makes no
come on, get a grip. It's fine. Let them. You know what? What Xbox is doing is like we've been saying this whole time. They're become very gamer friendly. And I have loved all of this lead up. All these things they've been doing has been great and has been great for competition. So Sony, guess what? All you gotta do, step up. That's it.
Yeah, and
Just give us God of War.
it's like they say, you gotta let the
Yeah.
horses eat the grass, right? So, yeah, you
What?
gotta do that.
They always say that.
They always say that.
Yeah.
They always say that.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna get into our next story, which was a really funny one and affected me personally. I talked about it earlier a little bit, but Apex being hacked on the 4th of July. So if you guys didn't know,
It was 4th
on
of
the
July?
4th
I didn't realize.
yes,
Oh,
which is
dang.
what took the response so long, was because it was on the 4th of July. So you would have to envision that they probably didn't have anyone on
In the
call
studio, yeah.
or any of that stuff, because it really took Respawn, I believe, like 6 hours before someone even tweeted back, "Hey, we discovered that there's an issue and we're going to fix it." So I'm going to read this for a little bit and then we'll get into it. So Apex hackers interrupt games with messages about Titanfall hackers, which I found hilarious because they were hacking to talk about hackers, because if you guys don't know, Titanfall has had a terrible streak of hackers, and it's like a 3-to-1 ratio where everyone's hacking in that game. It's really bad. For if you don't get into the right lobby, you're going to be in a game full of hackers, kind of like the GTA hackers, where everyone can do whatever they want in the game, and it's really bad. And EA and Respawn have not even remotely discussed anything about saving it or whatever the case may be. So it says the billion-dollar Battle Royale franchise is having troubles that tie back to previous games from Respawn. This is from Richard Lawler. It says Respawn's entertainment Battle Royale shooter Apex Legend has proven to be a hit, with over 100 million and counted over 300,000 people playing on Steam at one time in May. But an issue bubbling over the earlier Titanfall games is having an impact on Apex. As a report across social media show, players running into messages from the people hacking the game with a "Save Titanfall" message. Respawn acknowledges the issues on Twitter, saying, "We are aware of the actively investigating issues impacting Apex playlists that are preventing people from getting into matches." In a follow-up tweet at 7 p.m., the developers said these attacks don't put personal information of players at risk, and that the team is testing a fix. As of 10:15, the developers appeared confident that the problems were fixed. So now this thing started at least 2 p.m. So like on 4th of July, because I was getting ready to stream and I was like gonna set up, and then my buddy was like, "Hey, they hacked Apex like really bad." And it literally, you would go to the thing, you would play a game, you'd get one game in, and then it would say, do you want to save? It's like, have you read savetitanfall.com? And it's like a yes or no. And no matter what you pressed, the following thing, even if you said yes or no, it would be like savetitanfall.com. And then the next thing you pressed, yes or no, it would take you to a screen where your playlist on the bottom left took you to the training room, and all it said was savetitanfall.com. And that was it. And you couldn't play, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't do nothing. And the only way to try to fix it is if you move servers. And by the time they caught on to that, they started hacking all of the servers. So there was just no way to play this game at all on the 4th of July. So what do you guys think about how crazy that is, Yendi?
First of all, how the hell does something like that happen? That sounds like it's like somebody got in deep somehow, or I don't know if you can do that with the DDoS attack or by. I don't know, man. It sounds like there was some kind of critical flaw that somebody found and definitely took advantage of. But while funny and attention grabbing as it was, if you think about it, all these developers were at home with their families celebrating, and I just read something that said that they all had to go back to work. You know, like one guy said, "Oh, well, I was holding my newborn nephew and I had to give him back and then head to work and not be with my family." So that's kind of crappy, especially for a game that's 50 years old at this point. Like, who still plays Titanfall? Are the lobbies actually full?
Listen, I would be playing Titanfall if the lobbies were full
Except,
and not hacked. That's the
so
reason I
I
stopped
mean,
playing
I'm
Titanfall.
sure that game was end of life a long time ago, right? I'm surprised they still have servers. Do they have a rental server option for Titanfall? Like,
I don't think so. I think that's what a lot of people's main issue has been is the fact that they have no way of playing it. And this is Titanfall 1, not 2. So just so everyone knows.
even more
So like
so.
yeah, so even more so and I know that Titanfall 2 does have some hackers also, but it's not as bad as Titanfall 1. And like I said, I think this disgruntled person was upset that they haven't done anything and he found or she, I don't even know who it is because they haven't released who it was, but basically found a way to and the perfect day because this has got to be a dude who planned it. Like, there's no way they didn't plan this because Fourth of July, perfect day, like you said, everyone having to go back home from their Fourth of July weekend. Not to mention, some people were probably about 6 or 7 beers in, like around 2 p.m. Like, let's be honest, you start drinking at least at 12. So some people were probably a 6 pack in, and now having to go back to work and try to fix this problem that essentially then took them 8 hours to fix. So it wasn't no like little hack job. Like, this was like a real big thing, and thankfully no one's personal information got away
Yeah,
or any of
it
that
was
stuff.
like,
But
I guess you could say it's pretty harmless, but everybody
yeah.
hates hackers, man. They're like, they think they're so funny, and they
Come
think
on,
they're
Warzone. Come on down to Warzone.
right. Come on down, where it's normal every day, every match. Which me and Chris
Hackers
experienced
galore.
a hacker not too long ago. But anyways, yeah, man,
Oh
like
my god.
these hackers need to just find something else to do. Rob banks. Spread that money around. Do stuff like that. Cancel people's student debts.
We do not
Student loans.
condone.
Why? That's what I want to
Right.
know. Why haven't hackers done that yet?
Do the whole
Makes no
Robin Hood
sense.
thing. Take money from the rich, give it to the poor. Do something good if you're gonna be an asshole. Be an asshole to the people who deserve to be assholed on.
Yeah, true.
That's it. But yeah.
Man.
That's gonna
I'm
be a
shocked.
great show.
I'm shocked that Respawn was able to be owned this bad. So
It was bad.
okay.
It was really bad. Chris, what about you?
I feel like it was planned also because a lot of streamers that day were tweeting out that they wanted to be on Apex, and they're like, "Hey, so we can't stream today." There was a lot of big streamers
Oh
that were
yeah.
gonna stream, so I feel like it was planned. Sorry, she didn't get enough attention today, so she wanted me to hold her. But I think it was a funny thing. I mean, it's annoying for the big Apex players and probably the streamers that, they make a living off of that. They're all,
They do.
yeah, they that's their game, like how Warzone players are.
Mhm.
Is it going to solve anything? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be resolved, but I do think they sent a very big message of like, hey man, like these kids are really passionate about this game.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second.
Yeah. The thing also about hackers also, what tends to happen is they tend to get rewarded for hacking, which is the kind of an issue and why a lot of these hackers continue to hack, because a lot of these people, once they hack into something, they usually are able to get a job with security, like with cybersecurity. So it's not like hackers have any like real life punishment. Anyway, the information never goes out. And then most of the time, most people do get hired to teach them how they got away with, getting through their security. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big things that ends up happening with hackers. And I don't know, man, like this guy, like I said, I do feel bad for the streamers and stuff, because I follow a lot of Apex streamers and their numbers were like almost like a quarter, because like some of them have like 10K and stuff when they're playing Apex, and then they were down to like 2K because once you're not playing the game and that you're known for, you kind of like, everyone kind of just goes away. So it was an unfortunate thing. It does show that people still are very passionate about Titanfall, and I think this might end up turning around, and people are just, they might not even give us Titanfall at all, because I can only assume that cost EA a lot of money on 4th of July to not have that game running for a span of 8 hours with a new new Genesis pack that just came out. So there's a new event out that people are buying stuff and they weren't able to buy it on Sunday, and people might not buy it because of that. So who knows what the impact of that day costed EA? But I thought it was. A part of me did find it funny because I was like, yo, they really hacked this game just to put SaveTitanfall.com, which is hilarious to me. So, yeah, I mean, it was a pretty crazy story, and it happened, like I said, on the perfect day. So there was nothing anyone could really do about it. So, all right, so we're gonna move on to our big juicy topic, which we wanted to wait for Chris for this one because Yendi and I both have major issues, and we only know one person who thought about getting this, so we're gonna talk about it. The Switch Pro, not even called the Pro anymore. The Switch OLED model is set to release in October.
The Switch
and
Amateur.
Is that what it's called? What is it called? It's called the OLED.
It's called
OLED model.
OLED.
Mhm.
OLED model. So it's called the OLED model, and it's going to come out. I'll give you guys an exact date on October 8th, and it will be on sale for $350, which I'll get into my rant in a second. So I'm gonna let Chris answer this question for us with all of the details. And if you guys don't know, the details for this is pretty simple, by the way. They've added a network. They've added a Ethernet like plug-in, which was needed.
Mm-hmm.
A wired LAN, which you can also get for $15 as a USB. So, and then 64 gigs of internal space, which SD cards are super cheap and a little probably faster, honestly, at this point than paying $350 for. And then you get an OLED screen, which is the only major difference. And then for me, I mean, I don't play my Switch off screen, so I'm not getting one. If you guys can tell by my tone. But Chris, after reading and listening to today's trailer and seeing all that stuff, how it's not going to have stronger software and not going to have a stronger dock or any of that stuff, how do you feel about that? Are you still going to get one?
Tell us, Shill. Tell us, Shill.
Congratulations, Nintendo. You made. Wait, where's Yendi on the stream? You made this asshole to the right of me. All right. Win. All right. All this stuff that he's been talking. All this stuff. I've been defending you. And what do? What do? You say, here's a plate full of shit. Like, honestly, not even the battery. The battery wasn't even upgraded, bro. What is going on? And listen. All right, I am not getting one. All right, I know I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna get one because I need a new one, right? Because I have the first Switch and I feel like it needs an update. Bye, Cora. She's tired of me yelling. I know I need a new one, but hopefully all the hate and stuff, they're just like, okay, guys, like it has 4K and all this other stuff. And probably not, though. All right. So here's the next thing that you guys need to do. Okay, this is the next thing you need to do when it releases. Please sell that dock separately. Okay, I'll buy the dock. That's what I want. I want the docking station with the wire in the back. I'll buy it. What? Because I like docking stations. I need one.
And it's
you
white.
can get it. You can. Well, that's a good. I mean, besides that, but you can buy a USB Ethernet for $15.
I know, but I feel like it doesn't feel.
It works perfectly fine. You hide it right in the back, and you could put it in the same USB port as the one that they put the spot in there, and literally hide the cables the same way that thing is hiding the cable.
You lost me. I'm not buying anything from you. I'm sorry. That's it. I do want to see freaking, like, I do play handheld from time to time, but to me, honestly, it looks great. To me, it's fine. OLED, I get it. A few more colors, all this other stuff, but it's still 720p. Like, what? I don't know, man. I don't know. And then this makes me worried, right? Because whenever we saw the Pokemon trailer and it looked like shit, right? And we were like, oh, frame rate and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's gonna be on the Switch Pro and it's gonna look great on the Switch Pro. Also, Breath of the Wild 2, when that comes out, that's gonna look great on the Switch too because it's gonna be upgraded. But no, we're gonna get the same thing. So whenever I take Link and he runs off a cliff and he jumps, it's gonna go and then go.
I mean, I don't want to say I told you so or anything.
I'm pissed. You talk about changing our same IPs and all this other BS.
Nintendo does not want to change. They are out of touch. They are becoming out of touch, right?
Well, what sucks too is like I feel like it's all the old heads there. Like, how frustrated do you think those workers are?
Super.
They knew the announcement was going out, and I know all of them are not like, oh yes, this is like, this is a trendsetter. This is all so new. You know damn well they're all in the office like, here we go, man. Like, gonna get shit on for the 1500th time. Like, if only they let us do this and that. Like, I don't get it, man. And then the thing that made me the most mad was like the way they framed the picture, and it's just like you had the Switch and then the OLED model and then Switch Lite to show you like kind of how like Xbox is like does the side by side of like here's the Xbox Series S and then the X and stuff like that. So this one made it look like the OLED is like, here is the Pro of our systems, and it's like sitting right there, and it's just like, no, it should be in the category next to the Switch right there. Just put it next to it. Because that OLED screen, dude, it was a waste of money. You wasted your money putting that in without giving us a beefier system. Thanks for giving me new, like, literally, you gave me a new window. That's it. You gave me a new window. All right? Or you put, let's say this. You took Windex and came to my window and cleaned it. That's what you did for me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, but now you can see darker blacks and more colorful colors, so, you know? So
Yendi, how do you just bask in the glory?
So I'm gonna try to look at this from an optimist's point of view, right? So even that is hard. That's difficult to do. The pluses are you get a slightly bigger screen. I think it's like the
7 inches.
8. So 0.5 inches or 7 inches bigger. Centimeters bigger. Not that much bigger, but it is a Samsung OLED who have really, really good screen technology. So for sure the colors are going to look so much nicer, richer colors, deeper blacks. This that brings about the question, is the battery different? Because it is a bigger screen, and OLED screens takes up more they take up more battery because of how the technology works. So I'm assuming that the battery is slightly bigger. I'm assuming like 200 to 300 milliamps more.
Well, hopefully, I mean, like, I hope we get more in depth about it and we can get something out of it, because there's still a chance. I mean, the price point is still high. In my opinion, it should have been called like, they should have just made it like the Switch Lite Pro. Like, you know, the Switch Lite, you can't dock it or anything like that. Like, those are the players that would benefit from an OLED screen, because they've committed to saying like, I'm only gonna play handheld.
Yeah,
right?
well,
so where majority of the guys that play Switch, like me and Alan, I put it on my big screen. So
yeah. I had never played the Switch on the TV. I always did do it handheld. So something like that would be good for me. But I think you're right. They should have saved the new screen for the Switch Lite. Now they have 3 SKUs. They're fragmented now. There are, again, rumors that they will announce another model, which is supposedly the Switch Pro. Right, but who knows? That's not unheard of. PlayStation announced the Pro after the Slim came out not too long before it. So things like that will happen. And it is Nintendo. They're hard-headed. But even being an optimist, it's hard to give Nintendo
a pass.
A pass, because it's just a slightly better screen, a different dock. No, wait, the kickstand is different. The kickstand.
Oh, the vertical. Yeah.
Right? That wasn't on the dock, right? That was on the Switch itself.
No, yeah, that's on the Switch itself.
So hopefully that's better, because that was one of the big issues with the Switch, is that crappy, flimsy little kickstand. But yeah, man, I this doesn't make any sense to me hardware-wise. It just
They're trolling, bro. They have to be, because even even the early reports of it. Remember, everybody's just like 4K, 60 FPS, 4K,
well,
whatever. Just give me higher frames,
it
man.
it doesn't
That's
make
all
sense
I want.
because they had to create new tooling for this because it's technically a body has to hold a bigger screen now, so they had to create new tooling, new molds for the Switch, which cost Nintendo money. So I'm assuming they're banking in on these super hardcore Nintendo fans to go out and buy it. But why would you when you all the
Not
hardcore
even the
fans probably
hardcore fans,
already
man.
bought a Switch Lite?
Mhm.
Even if they had the
Yeah.
Switch, they probably bought both. But now they're being like, why do I need three? That's stupid, right? So,
Yeah.
You almost had me, man. Nintendo, I was waiting for E3. Like, I was sitting there with my wallet ready. I'm like, I'm gonna go pre-order this thing. Here we go. But like today, whenever it got announced, like the way I found out was I walked in and somebody was in the break room and they're like, they announced the Switch Pro. I was like, what? And I looked at it and I was just like, oh man, I was hyped and everything. This is cool. This is cool. And then I started reading the comments and the reviews. I'm like, what is happening? So it's basically like, I mean, to compare, who's the guy from Super Smash? I'm forgetting his name. The creator of Super Smash.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
drawing a
that
blank.
guy. Whenever he announced the Fighter Pass, and he's like, "Hey, buy it. I don't know what's in it yet, but just buy it and trust me."
Yeah.
And I did, and he delivered. Whereas Nintendo's like, "Hey, give me more money, please, for the same thing. We give you a better screen. Just trust us." And it's like, no, there's no benefit to this at all. So
Yeah,
we'll
and
see. Hopefully they do a deeper dive, and then maybe in the future, I mean, if they are making another actual Switch Pro, because like this Switch, for the benefit of the doubt, this Switch is supposed to replace the current Switch now, right? They're trying to phase out. Eventually, you're only going to be able to get the Switch OLED, and you won't be able to get the original Switch, which kind of like PlayStation Vita did, but backwards. It was like they were giving out OLED screens, and then after a while that phased out, and then they became LCD screens.
are they the same price points?
Yeah, they're
350.
about the same.
Okay,
Well, it's 350 for this
that makes
screen.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So eventually, yeah, they're getting all like whenever, because I know Switches were still kind of hard to get, but not anymore. But eventually they will phase out, and it's just gonna be the Switch OLED. So maybe they just announced this as a replacement. Like, hey, like if you were thinking about getting a Switch, like get this one because this will be a fresher version of it. And then for the people that want to upgrade, this isn't it. And then hopefully in the future we actually get the upgrade. So
I
I'm
bet
still optimistic a little bit, but.
I bet there will be a Switch Pro when Xbox and PlayStation has a refresh.
maybe
How
I
long?
hope
How long
not.
the
Don't do it at
Xbox
the same time
PlayStation
because
been
you're
out?
gonna
Like a
get
year?
smacked.
it's only been November. It's not even a year.
Not even a
yet.
year yet.
Yeah, not even
Yeah.
a year.
They're usually
yet.
what,
And then
like, 3
Sony already announced that they were making one, but
Probably what, like
right.
3 years in before they refresh their consoles. Usually, is that right?
Yeah,
Right.
but yeah, about 3 years.
me. Stop.
We're gonna get a new
Yeah.
Switch with without drift.
There you go. So
New updated non-drift controllers.
People are complaining about the Joy-Cons. I have no idea what else they would do for Joy-Cons.
oh, I don't know. Like I
You
I
mean
don't
like
even
physically?
use
They could add grips.
They
could
were
add
like, they were like, oh, they didn't change the Joy-Con. I'm like, how are they supposed to change it? Like, I couldn't think of anything else. I mean, I want it bigger, but it's like it's not. I don't know.
That's
This
what I
doesn't
would
seem
want.
right.
I don't want.
I just got the
back
Pro
to bulge
controller. Yeah.
to
Well,
be able
then-
to grip it because right now it just slides out of my hand unless I have my grips on it.
Well, they have this new thing that you can take your Pro controller and it clips
Yeah.
onto your Pro controller, and you just have. The
I don't
screen
have
there and you
one.
just-
That controller is too fucking expensive. For what? To play fucking card games on my Switch? Fuck off.
So my thing on this whole thing is usually when you come out with a new model, you fix the old issues of the older model. Like, and I feel like this did nothing for that. I know it says here because I read a little bit more, and it's saying that the battery life. They do mention the battery life. It says Nintendo says the battery life on this new OLED Switch will be up to 9 hours, the same amount as the current Switch. This OLED Switch is longer than the original and also slightly heavier by at 0.71 pounds versus the 0.66 pounds weight of the original Switch, which to me sounds like that's just the screen that they replaced.
Screen and
like,
battery.
Oh my god. Also,
you know what I mean?
big L that they took. I just read this comment, right? It says a brighter screen for the Switch is so great and needed, but still no Bluetooth headphone support is a shame. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Oh.
small. That's so
But
small. Come
that's
on.
what I'm saying though. Like, so like for me, this is even if you're trying to phase out your older like your older console, then why wouldn't you just make it an upgraded console? Like, there's no reason for people to go out and go get this unless you really care that much for a vibrant screen. And a lot of people are not going to pay $350 for that. And my friend Richard, who was on the show, brought up a really good point. Why would I spend $350 on this when I can get an Xbox Series S for $299 or get a PS5 digital edition for $400? Like, it makes no sense to have this in between those two powerhouses, and you get a way stronger console on either end you go. And the S is a lighter version of next gen, and it's still like almost 5 times stronger than this console. And then you can get the PS4 digital edition, which is on par with the Series X like strength, for only $50 more. Like, why would anyone go out and, like, unless you were a diehard, like, seriously care that much about the color scheme and the OLED, like the OLED screen is the only reason someone would go out and get this. And I don't think that is enough to warrant manufacturing a large amount of these, because I mean, regardless, they're going to make a ton of these because they they think it's going to sell or it's going to be easier to get or whatever the case may be. And I agree with you, Chris, saying that it's going to phase out the old one, but at the end of the day, like, then you're going to do what? Come out with another one next year, and then people are going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you buy the new Switch, you won't be able to port your games over. You have to buy them all over again.
Like, you know what I mean? And then they're gonna come out with another console, and I feel like that's such a poor way to, because this, regardless, the Switch has sold a ton of consoles. We know they've made a bunch of money from this console and stuff like that. But like, this right here is where you're now spending money that you made in an unnecessary way. Like, just make a new dock or do something that helps people. Like, again, I already have a USB Ethernet cable that I paid $15 for. Like, why would I go? Like, the built-in thing does nothing for me. I can get a memory card size, whatever is the highest capacity of this thing. I don't have that many games anyway. And you have to think a lot of people are not on that, are on the same level also, where they'd just rather delete than have the 64, like, the space. So this is a really confusing strategy for me, and it's coming out October 8th, and that's going to give people time to sulk about it, be upset about it, and like, Nintendo's literally going to have to hear this for a while, and I expect people not to buy this, because unless you totally take the old console off on October 8th, do you do you guys see like anyone buying this console? Because like, I really don't. I feel like people are just going to go, well, this one came out, I'm just going to buy the older one because it's going to be cheaper anyway. So
bundles. Get ready for bundles.
Yeah, so I don't see how this benefits Nintendo in any way, besides obviously you're getting a new product out, but I don't see how this helps. You literally did nothing but change the screen, and that is it. Like, literally, that is it. You did nothing as far as making it faster. You did nothing as making it like the fans. You did nothing to the dock. You did, besides the giving it Ethernet, and that's it. And like, I just think it's a terrible, terrible, terrible way to release a new console it's going to be even worse if you do plan on coming out with the Pro, because you just double manufactured for no reason. So I don't know. This one really, like, I felt disrespected watching that trailer, because I just couldn't believe they even thought this was a good idea. Who was the person who was like, you know what, that's the idea, that's it. I want to know. Talk to me. Email me. Email the show. Like, email the show,
they're
because
gonna love it, and it's just like, dude.
Because I want to talk about it, because the only thing that I think is cool about this is the color scheme, and you could have just released the older one with the same color scheme, and it would have been fine, and still stayed the same price without spending half of the money you spent to put the OLED screens in there. So
Yeah, I do like the color. I do like the white.
no, the color scheme is dope.
Here's my thought process on it. Like I said earlier, I think it's just going to replace the old Switch. They're going to announce a Switch Pro. And then here's the next screw up. The Switch Pro gets announced, right? LCD screen. Back to an LCD screen. They're like, you know what?
I don't think they'll go back. That'd be really dope.
But we know dang well that's what it would happen. They were like, hey, LCD screen. Yeah, this one's not going to have an OLED in it. And we're going to put another $100 on this. So...
I just, like I said, I don't know. I don't get it. I feel like people will have like, because this also makes it harder for, because remember, a lot of their audience are like, you know, children and stuff like that. Like imagine like I want a Nintendo Switch and like a parent who knows nothing about gaming, and then you have to explain to them 3 separate consoles, and if you do release the Pro next year, you're gonna have to release 4 separate consoles. You're gonna be like, well, this is this one. Here's the Lite if you just want to be portable. Here's this one if you want it stronger. And that's just that. And sometimes parents don't even want to hear that. As a person who worked at GameStop, like they don't want to hear that. They just want to be like,
which one
I want
works?
This console. Do you have it? And that's it. And like that's an advantage sometimes because you could sell them like, you know, things that, you know, whatever you want. But also it's kind of hard because some of them would just be like, you know what, this is overwhelming, I'm out. So
Yep.
They're lucky that their E3 presentation I liked. We're getting Mario Party and all that stuff. But,
you liked it.
Dude,
but,
you're I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know.
It was a little painful, like I said. So I don't know, boys, but I think Nintendo really dropped the ball on this one. It kind of is a step back, and if we're going to be honest, besides their game releases, I mean, I don't know what you do with this console. I'm really interested to see what the numbers are, and I'm sure we'll talk about it and watch a bunch of people buy it and us be completely wrong.
Bro, who in their right mind in that? Listen, I just want to see.
Left?
I just want to.
Who's left?
I just want to see the reaction. I just want to see the reaction in that studio of them sitting there and be like, 2 minutes till the trailer. It's gonna be great. The world's gonna change. Like, I just want to see like how they were, or like if somebody was in there like, hey man, this is bad. This is really bad.
That's why I want to be in those rooms, because I feel like no one is saying that because they're fearful. And I get it. You know, you want to protect, but like, there's just some stuff that can't pass, and that's one of them. Like, I would have been like, yo, this is a bad idea. Like,
Reggie, I'm calling you out, Reggie, okay? You're not with Nintendo anymore. I know you're partners with it. Get on somebody's come on our podcast. Get on a podcast and talk about what happens in that studio. Tell me, be honest with us and tell me, because we can look at your face in all those E3s and be like, this guy thinks that this idea is whack. You can see it in his face. But he's like, this is perfect.
I bet this is also shareholder pressure to have
maybe
a good quarter. I bet you, because Nintendo is publicly traded over in Japan. I don't think they are here, but they are over there. So I bet you a big part of that is the pressure from the board.
But I don't think like something like this doesn't really help, like, because Nintendo heavily relies on it could be the board, but I tend to like, for Nintendo, it feels like that's like a spending of money that seems unnecessary. And I feel like when you put that in numbers perspective and you're telling like, hey, we're going to release a new console with minimal minimal differences from the last one, and your last one is one of the highest selling consoles of your entire series, like I don't see how. I feel like they would have just been like, yo, manufacture more of that. It's cheaper. We've already been making them. Why are we going to put these new screens on it? We just made last year a killing on all of these, you know, the 2020 year. So why would we even release a new one? Like, well, I don't know.
I guess what makes sense is that now they have the molds for this one with the bigger screen, meaning the Switch Pro will continue to have the bigger screen.
Yeah.
And now they don't have to get new molds or new tooling for the Pros anymore, which means in the long run they save money if you think about it, and that they're making up the money they would have spent making the molds for the new Pros if they are going to release it.
Stop calling it a Pro. Stop it.
Right. Sorry,
Yeah.
Nintendo Mario 24
That ain't
or
the
whatever the
plan.
hell is gonna be.
So who
bundled.
knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, I was at utter shock by this, and
Me too.
I just don't like. He wasn't though. He's lying.
I laughed
was
my ass off when I saw
yeah.
it.
I
I was excited for
laughed
the
a little
trailer. I'm
bit
not gonna
too.
lie. I was very excited, and I'm like,
Yeah.
once I finished, I'm like, I just left. I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
So,
I don't know
it
what I
was-
expected.
yeah. It was
I
disappointing.
hope Battlefield sucks so you can feel my
Oh.
pain. I'm
Hey,
kidding.
I am setting the
Don't
lowest
wish that.
expectations, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
hoping it's really good.
Yeah.
Please,
don't do
man,
that,
please,
okay?
for the rest of the year, please. Stop disappointing me, please. I can't
Listen,
take it
okay.
anymore.
Well, guys,
I'm back to watching TV, so.
There you go. There you go. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. We don't have any more topics. Thank you, Chris, for showing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did our thing. Also, Chris and I are dropping videos for you this week. We're going to have 2 videos this week. We're dropping that Loki video where him and I are going to talk about that after this to see when we're shooting it, whether we're going to drop it on a Wednesday or the Thursday. And then Black Widow video is going to come out sometime this week. We're hoping Friday. So we're going to give you guys all the Marvel content that you can take because we're coming back, and then we're just going to have shows in between that, and then Shang-Chi comes out, and it's just going to be a great time. So the MCU is back and in full effect, and we're talking about it. So be on the lookout for that, guys. If you like the videos, please like them, share them to a friend. Just, one friend, even if it's just one friend, whatever the case may be, it all helps our numbers. And I'm just spewing all the stuff that other YouTubers do. So, thank you guys for all the support, especially at podcast for the discussion episodes. We do see the numbers on that, and we appreciate everyone for that. And congratulations again to Yendi for actually having a, new job and doing his thing. And I want my Fanatic Excaldi shirt so I can represent.
I do too. Also, I was looking at those keyboards, man. We gonna be talking after the show.
See, there we go.
They're sending me the entire product line.
What? Anyway, that's going to be the end of the show. Chris and I are going to talk to Yendi about some stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Fire Team out.